Happy Tuesday, everybody. How's everyone doing in Leafs land? There's a lot going down in the last 24 hours, last 48 hours, and you know, excuse my little guy playing with his bone in the background. My little guy Charlie. Um, yeah, it's. I wanted to make this a very specific video regarding what happened with the Leafs and the Winnipeg Jets and my views on the Winnipeg Jets. Um, you know, if you're a fan of the Winnipeg Jets, good for you. Um, you know, they're entertaining to watch at times, but this is a team in general they suck. 583 points percentage this year. It's not good enough in that division with Colorado and a lot of other good teams. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. That's why, this Leafs Winnipeg Jets rematch in March is not going to matter. The Leafs are not going to go after the Winnipeg Jets because they're going to be preparing for the playoffs and wanting to finish off the season healthy and getting ready for the playoffs. And the Winnipeg Jets are going to be getting ready to go golfing in a couple of weeks. So the Winnipeg Jets are, they have Ehlers and they have Connors who can score some goals, but they went this off season. They would spend some money on their back end. They have a great goalie in net, and even with all that, there is no real success in their future. When they miss the playoffs this year, there's going to be change coming. I don't see Paul Maurice surviving this season. Once they miss the playoffs, I don't see him coming back as the coach. They're going to have to make changes there. Pierre-Luc Dubois, who is a career loser, people are always going to remember him as the guy who not only disappointed in Columbus, he didn't meet expectations and then he quit on his team to get traded. And guess what? He's been a colossal disappointment in Winnipeg, too. This guy can't score goals. He thinks he's a superstar, but he's not. He's just shit. Overpaid, can't score goals. And the Winnipeg Jets, they saw the Leafs scoring 2 goals and making it 5-3. And they got scared that there was a comeback coming because the Leafs just did it the night before in Minnesota. And so they divulged the game into something that's not hockey. And the Winnipeg Jets thought they got away with something there. The only reason they got away with anything in that game is because the Bush League refereeing in the NHL is atrocious. Atrocious. Pierre-Luc Dubois got away with a lot of stuff there. Neil Pionk didn't even get a penalty for a knee to knee. But let's visit exactly why it is Pierre-Luc Dubois, slow, talentless Pierre-Luc Dubois hates Matthews so much. This is from last year in the bubble in the All Canadian division.
Can't get loose, and now Matthews in for Hyman. Marner in front to the backhand. Stop, rebound, scores. Austin Matthews has the kickstarter tonight.
Matthews scores, and Pierre-Luc Dubois crushes Forbort.
And Dubois came across, Chris, and tried to make the big hit on Hyman. He ended up getting his defenseman Forbort, and he ended up down and just picked.
That's Pierre-Luc Dubois. Too slow to make a simple hit on a guy going to the net, which was Zach Hyman, and Matthews comes in and cleans up the rebound. Pierre-Luc Dubois, you're not good enough to be in the same conversation. You could go ahead and you can maul all the people you want on the ice and have the NHL referees, let you get away with stuff. But Matthews just looked at you and laughed. He's like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" You think this guy Matthews has had two hand injuries in the last year. What do you think he's gonna do? You think he's gonna drop the gloves and play your shitty style of hockey that isn't successful in the NHL? You got your ass handed to you by the Leafs last year in the bubble. And if it wasn't for the Leafs being on a California road trip, flying to Toronto, flying to Minnesota, and playing you guys on a back-to-back, and having the backup in there, you guys would have got your ass handed to you again. And guess what? You're not good enough. 583 point percentage. Your 500 garbage team had to play this kind of hockey to have any sort of success to stop the Leafs from scoring and coming back. And let's look at some of this. So puck is going into the corner.
Wide of the Leaf goal. Matthews takes it.
All Matthews is doing is there's a fight for the puck. It's a loose puck, and he's going for the puck. There's nothing that he's doing wrong here. It's just a simple puck battle.
His man to the boards. That starts a shoving situation. Matthews is wrestled to the ice. And in a battle there with Pierre-Luc Dubois, and nothing is going on by the officials.
That's got to be called. I mean, that's.
Oh, now, okay, now we got it. No, we're good now.
Laugh in your face. That's what Matthews is doing. He's laughing at you. He's laughing in your face.
I mean, Austin Matthews,
You loser.
was down. Pierre-Luc Dubois would not let him up. And this Leafs had the puck in the Winnipeg zone. And if this
You think
is
Matthews
two
is
minors-
scared of you? And check out Neil Pionk right here. Pionk right here. He's in the scrum and he's doing a lot of shit talking. He's doing a lot of chirping right before he goes and does something real stupid. So here's Neil Pionk
Bunting
talking
and
with Michael
Pionk having a
Bunting.
word.
This is the same loser who hacked Mitch Marner after an empty net goal. It just hacked him right in the hands and stomach area. That's what Neil Pionk did in the bubble last year. Neil Pionk is a complete loser. This is a guy who can't handle losing. He's on a shit team and he does a lot of losing. And you can tell from last year after Marner scored that empty net goal and this guy slashed him in the hand stomach area for no reason at all. Should have got his face caved in that night. But it was the end of the game and the Leafs skated away. They're like, we're too good for you guys. Don't even waste our time. We're not even going to waste our time punching your face in. So there he is. He's smirking. He's laughing. He's doing a lot of chirping. And then later on, Neil Pionk goes to do something. And after he commits his atrocious act, his knee in a knee on Sandin, look at the look on his face. He is scared shitless that he has to fight somebody.
But it's Dubois that they better worry about. If they're going to have any retribution, I would think.
I mean, this started with an old-fashioned battle. But if they're both going to
Look at Pierre-Luc Dubois. He can't handle someone checking him into the boards that's bigger, stronger.
go, I mean, we're watching this
Man
again.
strength. So what Matthews is doing right here is everything that he's ever told to do. He's like, you're down 5-3. It's a 2-goal game. If you don't retaliate, the guy will get the penalty. You're going to go on the power play and you make him pay. This is what you're told. This is how you handle this situation. And he's doing it perfectly. He's not retaliating. The referee is standing
He's got
here
a hold
point
of
blank.
Matthews' jersey
Look at the referee
from
coming here.
behind.
So the referee is staring at these guys. And Matthews does nothing. 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 And then he goes, okay, if you're not going to blow the whistle, I'm going to grab this guy and I'm going to take him down to the ice. And then he gets a coincidental 2-minute penalty for roughing. This is the NHL. This is why your product sucks. If you put the Leafs on the power play here, and if they score, it becomes a more exciting game. It becomes a 1-goal game. And then it becomes a great product for everyone to watch. Not just Jets fans, Leaf fans, NHL fans in general who are watching this game, who want it to be a 1-goal game, who wants the intensity to ratchet up, who wants the excitement to ratchet up, that's how you create a great product. Not that you put both of these guys in, create a 4-on-4 situation where Neil Pionk has no other choice because this young defenseman Rasmus Sandin walks around him like he's the biggest pylon in the history of pylons because he's too slow, and he goes in to make a check, and all the kid did was go left to right, and Neil Pionk was standing there left holding his jock strap. But what did he have to do? He had to put out his leg so that this guy didn't score on a 4-on-4 and make it a 1-goal game, and so he puts his leg out and he hurts a player. This is what's wrong with the NHL and its refereeing. We want to what's it called? Come down on slashing and cross-checking. We need to police these things better. They're more worried about if your leg is over the line on an offside than calling a simple penalty. It's a 2-minute penalty. You give Dubois 2 minutes for roughing, and that's it. It's a simple rule. Roughing. That's roughing. Auston Matthews isn't doing anything, but guess what he's left to do?
And is not letting them up.
And he takes Dubois down.
He's on Auston Matthews.
He's on top of Auston Matthews. And now the ref comes in to take him off.
Right there.
After
Now,
Auston
on
Matthews
the play, A wasn't
takes him
stopped,
down
and B,
and
I think they're
throws
both
him to
getting
the side.
minors.
Look at the coach's face.
We'll wait and see what the call is. At this point, Leaf coach
Bush League
Sheldon
refereeing.
Keefe is
I'm
somewhat a
tired of all
disbeliever.
this. All the NHL refs are the best refs in the world.
That is
And look, Dubois
unbelievable.
is still
Well,
talking
they're both
trash.
in the penalty box.
And he's in the penalty box.
Whether one gets a double.
He's a loser who quit on his team. That was a huge disappointment. Is still a huge disappointment. Overpaid. Can't score goals to save his life. This is what he does to a star player in the NHL. And the NHL says, yeah, we're okay with Auston Matthews and Connor McDavid and all these other guys getting treated like this because it's hockey, right? It's not. This is not what it's. If you want to go back to the 80s and 90s style hockey, okay. Then every single time the stick comes down, you don't call slashing. Who cares if the player's stick breaks? Let's go back to the old days. At least this way, this guy can protect himself. Not that he's told if you don't retaliate, the other guy gets a penalty. He doesn't retaliate, and both guys get the penalty.
Double minor or
Trash.
not, we'll wait and see.
Here, Luc Dubois, who is the man he wanted out of Columbus.
Shooting! And Hellebuck made the save off of Muzzin.
So it's a
who was the
4-on-4
trailer.
now.
Muzzin.
So right here, it's a 4-on-4, and Rasmus Sandin skates like he's going to shoot on the net, and then he sideswipes this loser Pionk. He makes him look like the biggest pylon. He's standing there holding his jock in his hand because this kid...
Near side, Sandin.
Look how much he missed that hit. Look how far he came to make a hit, and because he's slow and useless, look how much he missed by. But guess what?
Of Muzzin, who was the trailer. Muzzin,
Let's watch that again.
Near side, Sandin. Shooting! That was not. Hellebuck made the
So-
save off of Muzzin, who was the trailer. Muzzin, near side.
This guy
Sandin
takes a
shooting.
knee on knee,
That was not.
and he's down. The referees don't blow the whistle for an injured player. They don't call a penalty for kneeing, which is in the rule book. 2 minutes for kneeing.
Into the corner
So the
on a
play
save
continues.
Made by Hellebuck.
The refs don't call
Well,
a
they got an
penalty.
injured
This guy's
Leaf
on the ice. They
in
didn't
front,
stop the
and I
play.
think
No
it's
nothing.
Sandin
Guess
in
what
big
happens when the
trouble,
play continues?
trying to get off.
Bent over as he gets to the Leaf bench. Played in around back of the net for Liljegren. Liljegren turned. Brought out at center ice. A pass ahead on the wing for Engvall. Shooting!
By the way, I'd like to state for the record that Austin Matthews has not drawn a single penalty in the NHL this season. Think about it. Austin Matthews has not drawn a single penalty this season. Just let that marinate for a little while.
That far post. Kept alive by the Leafs, who sent it in around back of the net. The Jets Schmidt getting it up on the wing. These two teams, of course, will only see each other
continues.
twice this
No one's
season.
blowing whistles. No one's calling penalties.
After getting a full of each other last year. Played back to the blue line in the slot. A pass in front is blocked there by Liljegren. And David Camp trying to get the puck out, had it knocked away, and the Leafs Brody will restore it as the Leafs are changing. Sandin bent over at the Leaf bench being attended to.
And obviously something lower body because he was limping his way.
A puck stolen in front of the net, and a shot by Bunting was just blocked at the doorstep of the crease. Here's Spezza trying to center. Comes back to the blue line to Riley. Riley sends the puck high and wide of the goal.
Notice these losers in Winnipeg getting dominated by Bunting, Spezza, and Austin Matthews. 2 out of the 3 make $950 or less in the NHL.
Back of the net now is Spezza.
And I don't know if you just didn't notice
Back
this
of
right
the
here.
net now
You
is
see that
Spezza.
stick goal flying?
Spezza's
That's
one
another
of the
penalty they
defensemen
missed.
has lost a stick. The puck comes back into the...
Pionk reaches for a puck on the floor, and Jason Spezza, who is showing you his level of commitment and love and heart for his team and will do whatever it takes for the Leafs to win, he goes to put a shoulder inside Pionk's face, and guess what happens? The knee makes contact
and it is pushed out
in the
center
chest.
ice, and they can let that go because it would be a glove pass.
And guess what? There's a scrum ensues, and now the whistles get blown right away. Now the play can't continue.
But now we've got something going back in the Winnipeg end. Oh, Michael Bunting's in the middle of it.
And I think Michael Bunting is a Winnipeg
This
player
guy
that
still
was
hasn't had it.
diving without
So
a stick.
this guy is sitting on the bench, and he can't get to the dressing room because he has to skate all the way across the ice to do it. And the refs don't even care, don't blow a whistle, don't stop the play, so that this guy who's dying on the bench, God knows what's wrong with his knee. He could have a torn ligament, he could have an MCL, ACL, God knows what could be wrong with his leg. But just let him writhe in pain on the bench. Who cares if he needs medical attention?
I don't know if it was Pionk, and Sandin now has to be helped cross ice, and he's in a lot of trouble. It's his right leg, right knee.
Look at the look on Pionk's face right here. He goes knee to knee with Sandin. He's been chirping all game. And guess what? He just realized how scary the situation can get when you're a punk loser in the NHL. Look at that look on his face. He is scared shitless of what's about to happen. And he should be scared.
That he is favoring.
He doesn't look...
But
I don't see this.
Bunting
What happened to the
administered a bit
smirk
of
on
a
his
low
face when he
hit
was chirping with Bunting?
On the Winnipeg player without a stick, and I don't
What
know
happened?
if that was Pionk again.
Hey,
but
Pionk.
he and Bunting have been going
What
at it
happened?
all night.
You were smiling and you were chirping and you were having a great time. Why are you so scared? What happened to that look on your face? Look at Jason Spezza giving it to the refs. Attaboy, Spetz. Hey Neil. Boom.
Neil Pionk is coming in for some extra attention from the Maple Leafs. It was a neon.
Look at the look on this guy's face. Shit just got real for him. And what happened to the smirks? What happened to all the chirping you were doing? Hey, you want to start a fight? Hey, you want to fight? Hey, you're a loser, eh? Where are all the chirps? Why you look so scared, bro? What happened? I thought you were too cool on the ice. Chirping. Hey, your Matthews got ragdolled, eh? Laughing, having a great time, chirping on the ice, smirking all game. Where'd the smirk go, man? Why you look so scared?
On knee,
And you know what? It was a penalty.
attack on Sandin. That was
Look
a
at that.
penalty. You're
Simmons
right.
going
Now we've
after
got
anybody who would fight.
Clay Hall.
And guess what? The big, tough Winnipeg Jets have no one that's going to drop the gloves. No one. Hey, what happened? I thought you guys were tougher than the Leafs. I thought the Leafs were the softest team in the NHL. What happened? Oh, you guys were chirping and smiling all game, and you guys are just doing whatever you want to do. Hey, what happened? Why does nobody want to fight right now? Why does nobody want to stand up for nothing?
As Simmons is trying to get at, is it Pionk? There was no call on Pionk, and then when Pionk lost his stick and was trying to move the puck out with his hand, Spezza drilled him. And now Stanley is in the middle of this, the big defenseman for the...
Hey, Logan
Simmons,
Stanley.
Fine, I'll take.
You like to skate off the ice with your arm raised like you're the heavyweight champion with, throwing your helmet up. Hey, look at me. How come if you're so tough, why aren't you fighting right now? Why are you so scared? Leafs got Ritchie, Simmons, and Clifford on the ice. Where's all the tough guys? What happened to all the tough guys?
Thank you.
I thought the Leafs were the softest team in the NHL. What happened? Logan Stanley is like 6'6"
I'll
or
tell you what,
6'7" or something. I don't know
the
what he is. He's
officiating
huge.
here tonight has
Why isn't he fighting
really
anybody? Why is he so
been,
scared?
And both,
suspect.
and both sides.
Look, he's trying to take his helmet off. He's like,
But
Simmons
if
has got a
now,
hold of me. Let
after
me
you threw
go.
off Austin Matthews
Please.
with Pierre-Luc
I don't want to
Dubois,
fight.
both getting roughing minors.
Look,
when Dubois
and then look, when the door
basically
closes, guess who
had
starts
Matthews
chirping?
by the cuff of
The guy who didn't
jersey
want to fight.
and wrestled him for 40 seconds. If you just come out with one now,
Look at Simmons right here. Throws him down right in the back. Attaboy, Sims. Way to go, Wayne Train.
well, I mean,
Look at Logan
tragedy
Stanley
is we
just
didn't see it
standing
when it
there.
First happened.
Just
But
afraid for his
Sandin gets
life.
knee on knee.
Hey, what happened?
And
There's
that was
there's
it.
a
So
lot
what
of
they've
guys
done
on the
now with
Winnipeg bench
12:30
with
to
smiles
go,
on their faces.
They've taken
They're
Wayne
big and
Simmons
tough,
out of the
right? So how
game
come
for all
how
but
come
30
nobody's doing
seconds.
anything?
And that's great for Pierre-Luc Dubois and Neil Pionk and guys that want to start running around
I don't see
again.
Dubois
Du-
dropping the
Pierre-Luc
gloves.
Dubois
I don't see
already can
Logan
say, hey,
Stanley
this is no
fighting
problem
anybody.
for us.
Yep.
I just took Austin
Attaboy,
Matthews off
Richie.
the ice.
Now
Attaboy, Richie.
we've got Ritchie. And
Look. Richie pushed him and he turns around to the ref. He's like, hey, do you see this guy harassing me over here? You see this kind of harassment? This shouldn't be allowed in the NHL. What a loser. What a group of losers in Winnipeg. After what he just did to Austin Matthews, look at him. Hey ref, do you see what this guy's doing over here? He's like pushing me before the whistle. Like, you haven't even blow the whistles yet. Come on, man. This is not hockey, bro. Look how scared he is.
Dubois
I thought Dubois was a look at his
jostling a
face.
little
He's like,
bit.
hey ref, do you see what he's doing?
No,
Is this
you'll have
allowed in the
guys
NHL?
on other
Can
teams
you do this before the
that
whistle?
You just don't
Look
like.
how
You're not a
scared
fan.
for his life
For
he
me,
is.
it's Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Pierre-Luc
I can
Dubois
appreciate
scared
what he
for
brings
his
to
life.
the Winnipeg Jets. I think because I'm more of a John Tortorella fan than maybe some people are. I love the fact that Tortorella benched him after he quit on him for a shift.
well,
What a shame.
Jets can
What a group of losers. And at the end of the game, guess what Logan Stanley does? After Wayne Simmons goes after a Winnipeg player, he jumps in as the third guy. Starts throwing fists when the referee has a hold of Simmons and they're not letting him throw punches. Losers. That's what the Winnipeg Jets are. Losers. You know why? Because they're not going to make the playoffs because they suck. Not only do they suck, they can't play hockey. They built a team around a bunch of big guys, and their two most skilled players are Kyle Connor and Ehlers. And that's it. They got a great goalie, and they're wasting his entire career because they can't do anything with the losers they got up front. And they spend money on the back end, and guess what? Where's it getting you 583 points percentage? It's up to the NHL. The NHL has to be better than this. You're gonna reward Pierre-Luc Dubois for doing what he's when he's mauling Auston Matthews, and Auston Matthews isn't retaliating. And you're gonna take Auston Matthews off the ice for doing nothing, and then when he starts to get some pushback, Pierre-Luc Dubois from Nick Ritchie, what does he do? Hey ref, you see what he's doing over here? You see this guy? He's pushing me. You can't do that. You can't push me before the whistle. This isn't hockey. What are you talking about? He just put his stick on my chest. And then you reward that by taking Ritchie off the ice. So what you're doing is you're promoting this loser behavior of these soft guys who pretend to be tough because they know the NHL refs are going to take care of them. That's why there's rats in the NHL. That's why Brad Marchand exists. That's why he slewfoots people. That's why PK Subban slewfoots people. It's the dirtiest play in the game. And Brad Marchand has been suspended multiple times for slewfooting. But there's no real consequence to anything. You just get to do whatever you want to do. Just call the rule book. He's roughing Auston Matthews. Call 2 minutes for roughing. If the Leafs go on the power play and they score, or they don't score, either way, you've diffused the situation. Sandin goes knee to knee. You call 2 minutes for kneeing. And then you go on the Leafs go on the power play. Whether they score or not, you're diffusing the situation. All this happens because the referees refuse to call penalties. But the most important thing is, was his foot on the line when the puck went in the net? Was it offside before the puck went in the net? We spend 20 minutes on this, but we don't spend any minutes on this. This is about player safety. The refs have a job because these guys are on the ice playing the game. You need to protect these guys so that you have a job. This is the product. This is why the NBA protects superstars, and that's why the NFL protects quarterbacks. You need to understand why the product is so great and what makes the product good, and then protect that. Because if you don't, you get this. Auston Matthews is wrestling with this guy. He just had wrist surgery. If his wrist gets screwed up and it messes with his season, and it messes with the Leafs season, and we all know who's producing the money in the NHL. It's the Leafs. The Leafs are revenue sharing across the NHL, keeping the Phoenix Coyotes alive. Protect the product. It's as simple as that. Protect the product. Call the penalties that are in the book. Why is there even a rule book? Unless the guy stick snaps. Slashing doesn't get called. As soon as my stick goes parallel, it's hooking. It's because it's based on interpretation. Take your opinion out of it. Call the rule book as it's written. But the Winnipeg Jets are losers. They walk into their bed and they walk into their dressing room. Man, it's good to beat the Maple Leafs. Yeah, because the Maple Leafs are great and you guys suck. That's your Stanley Cup this season because you're not going to make the playoffs. 583 points percentage. The Jets have sucked and will suck for a long time. The Jets are to me, the Jets are like the Philadelphia Flyers. Completely irrelevant and shit from top to bottom. I don't talk about the Jets. I haven't had any hockey conversations with anybody that's brought up the Philadelphia Flyers in a hockey conversation because nobody talks about the Philadelphia Flyers. They haven't been relevant for years. They suck. They're a goalie graveyard, and Carter Hart is just the next victim that's going to get buried in that graveyard. Did you see that goal he gave up yesterday? That debacle where he skates out and tries to play the puck and the puck ends up in the net and they pull him. Philadelphia Flyers suck. They have sucked for a long, long time. They're irrelevant. Winnipeg Jets are the same thing. They're just one of these teams in the middle that nobody talks about. They either talk about you because you're complete trash and you're going to win the lottery, Ottawa Senators, or you're at the top and they talk about you because you're Edmonton, you're Toronto, you're the Florida Panthers, you're the Washington Capitals, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They talk about you, either you're great or they talk about you because you're going to win the lottery every single year. But nobody talks about these middling Columbus Blue Jackets. 8 out of the last 10 years they've picked in the lottery. Only twice have they not picked in the lottery in the last 10 years or something like that. Because they're irrelevant. The Arizona Coyotes are irrelevant. The Columbus Blue Jackets are irrelevant. You know, the Winnipeg Jets are irrelevant. The Philadelphia Flyers are nobody. I haven't had a hockey conversation with anybody, and they've brought up any of these teams because who wants to talk about these teams? They're not good enough to work. They're not good enough worth talking about. But they walk into the dressing room. Man, it feels good to beat the Maple Leafs. They've only been on a 2-week road trip and playing on a back-to-back with their backup in net. And that is what makes you feel good. That's the victory. Hey, you guys lost 1-0 to the Phoenix Coyotes. Where was this fight in the Winnipeg Jets? This sort of intensity when they lost 1-0 to the Phoenix Coyotes. Bro, you suck. You're so shit. It's not even fun. You're not relevant in the NHL. But that's the kind of hoopla they need to feel good about themselves. To each their own, I guess. So, the update is Mitch Marner is on LTIR, 3 to 4 weeks. And Rasmus Sandin has escaped serious injury. The MRIs came out negative, so he has no structural damage or anything like that. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. Jason Spezza is going to get suspended today, probably 4 or 5 games. He's going to get double what Pionk got, which is even more ridiculous. More than double what Pionk got, which is, like I said, completely ridiculous. And so the Leafs are going to be without Marner, Sandin, Spezza, and Dermott because Dermott's got a shoulder injury as well. And, Alex Steeves gets called up. He's an exciting player. He's got a lot of potential there. It's going to be fun to watch him play. I don't know what kind of a role he's going to be in, but that top line, Michael Bunting and Matthews are going to stay together, but they're going to switch out a bunch of guys, and you never know. Steeves might get a look there. Kasha might get a look there. We still have Kerfoot, Tavares, and Nylander together, so they should continue to roll with their line, and the Leafs just got to get through the next couple of weeks because they're doing a lot of traveling now. They're playing a lot of road games now, but come the second half of the season, their schedule is going to get much better, where they're playing most of their games in the Eastern Conference, and they don't have a lot of games out west or anything like that. So the second half of the season is going to get easier for them. And all the points that they've banked so far with the tough schedule is really going to come in handy because these injuries are going to test the depth. And Mrazek should be backing up tonight and probably will play this weekend, which will be exciting to see him back. Hopefully he does well. The Leafs defense is taking a hit. And, that top three of Muzzin, Brody, and Riley have to really step up for the bottom 3 guys, which it looks like it's going to be Biega, Rubens, and Liljegren in the bottom 3 of that defense. So hopefully they play solid. They stay inside the team structure that's been good so far this year. Penalty killing keeps going, and go Leafs go. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Take care.